Make the mundane magical with Starlight Witch.
What's up, witches? It's Starlight out in the afternoon, and today's video is going to be a continuation of my Fae series, which is kind of ongoing on this channel. Hope you've been keeping up so far. We've got quite a few videos and we've got plenty more to come. This one is going to be about elementals. I've had quite a few people asking me, like, what are elementals? Are they Fae beings? Are they not? Are they, like, what are they, basically? And that is what we are going to cover in this video. So grab yourself a hug and some food and some drinks and let's get into it. So as usual, I'll be reading from my trusty journal. Yeah, so we're going to be covering elementals, so let's jump right in, shall we? Shall we? We shall. So the first one we're going to be covering is the SYLPH. It's also known as the SYLPHID, and they are the air elementals. So SYLPHs tend to come in two main forms: a physical one, which is fairly human-like in appearance, and a non-physical one, likened to either smoke or clouds, which can appear as anything from sprite to human to animal-like. So if you see like an animal in the clouds, or if you see like a little like sprite passing through your smoke, it's probably an air elemental. SYLPHs are generally quite swift by nature, flitting here and there as it suits them, and frequently going from being enamoured by something to being bored. Like the majority of Fae, SYLPHs prefer to stay away from human inhabited places, preferring fields, forests and mountains to towns and cities. They are very fine and delicate and have a great knowledge of human emotions and the events that take place in our lives. They can help you find solutions to difficult problems, ease overwhelming feelings, and allow you to get a better perspective on any situation. New insights, fresh ideas, and clarity of thought are their gift to you. Let your mind be refreshed and your creativity stirred when connecting with them. To maintain contact throughout the day, pay attention to your breath and inhale deeply. Did I just see what I thought I just saw? I saw something flick on the camera. They're here. The elementals are here. Maintain contact with them, inhale deeply. They have a type of intelligence that men lack and are pretty much powerless outside of their own element. They have supernatural foresight and have the supernatural power over air, mainly the wind and clouds. Sorry, this is getting really small now, like writing's really small. Follow it with my finger. So, wind and clouds. SYLPHs are portrayed as guardians who protect the secret knowledge and beautiful women and the environment, but it's not out of the question for a SYLPH to cause mischief for man. Or especially among men, for like not just man as in like humankind, but like men specifically, because most SYLPHs are portrayed as women, and it is said that SYLPHs or air elementals are the spirits of those who have died that were cheated by men. I can't remember where I heard that, and it's not written here, but I somehow just remembered that from somewhere. So next is the salamander, which are, of course, known as little like lizard beings in the earthly plane, but in the fairy realm they are the fire elementals. So have you ever watched a fire burn and noticed strange shaped curling in the flames? These are salamanders. Small and dragon-like, these tiny lizards breathe flame from their tiny mouths. They live in the glow of a candle, the spark of hot coals, lightning bolts, sunsets and rays of sunlight. Kitchens are a sacred place to them. They have a high energy and are spontaneous creatures, unable to be tamed. Salamanders are loyal, fierce and courageous when called upon. If you want to feel their presence nearby, try cooking it and asking them to bless your food, or offer a piece of your coal at your next barbecue. Their specialty is reigniting passion, vitality and joy and community spirit. They are useful to help bring families closer together and can offer comfort when you are feeling lonely. Fire elementals are spirits of the sun. They can clear away problems of a psychic nature. Their appearance is similar to the lizard of the same name, though they can also change to a being of pure fire and light and a small humanoid being. The latter is rare. On a spiritual level, they can also help to awaken Kundalini and have a special influence over those with fiery tempers. So if you're kind of a hothead like moi, salamanders will probably be easier to connect with. Salamanders are ancient spirits and are well aware of their value to the order of the world, as well as to those who are versed in spellcasting and magic. Salamanders are favoured by witches for their magical power, adaptability, and ability to come and go from a cast circle. They govern the direction of south and serve as guardians and power enhancers in a circle. If fire elementals are allowed to remain once a ritual is complete, their playful side will definitely show, and energetic disruption may ensue. They will need to be enticed to return or firmly sent back to the Fey realm. Associations with Persephone and Hades as Hades is the birthplace of fire on Earth. So they are associated with Persephone because the realm of Hades, or like the underworld, is apparently the birthplace of fire on Earth according to Greek mythology. Next is the Undine, or the Ondine. These are elemental spirits of water. Their magic centres upon this element, whose course and function they can control. Undines exist within water itself and cannot be seen with normal human vision. Their homes are typically within coral caves, in lakes, or upon the banks of rivers, though smaller undines may choose to live under lily pads. Their appearance is similar to human beings in most cases, with the exception of those living in streams or ponds. Undine clothing is shimmery, reflecting all the colours of the water, though its teal is usually the predominant colour. Every being of water is home to undines. From ocean waves to rocky pools to marshlands to rivers to lakes and ponds, even waterfalls and fountains have an undine living in their midst, as water needs undines to live and thrive, and undines need guard every body of water to help it do so. I don't know whether it's like undines or undines. I think it's undines, so I'm going to say undines. So, undines are quite distinctly not merpeople and are often insulted to be so compared. Sometimes also called ondines, or like ondines. However you say it, I'm going to say ondines. They are almost indistinguishable from their element when within it, taking the form of their more physical self except made of water. Water Fae personality varies more than any other kind of elemental Fae, being anywhere from tranquil as a pool to as unpredictably dangerous as a riptide to being as openly dangerous as rapids. Most undines prefer to dwell in old waterways, preferring most of all ones untouched and uncontaminated by humans. Due to the increasing rarity of such sites, many undines now live in the Fey courts or in the fairy realm, where there are many such sites, and are well guarded against humans with ill intent. On to the gnomes, which are the earth elementals. So gnomes, as earth elementals, have strong ties to the earth and like places such as ancient groves, forests and mountains. Some gnomes, though, do tend to live in gardens and offer their support to plant life, particularly plants that have deep roots. They enjoy vegetable gardens more than flower beds and are very, very practical Fae. Gnomes love to see humans growing their own fruits and vegetables and will bless a well-tended food garden with a bountiful harvest. People who have a good relationship with gnomes have good intuition when it comes to growing plants, either indoors or outdoors. Most gnomes live under the earth rather than on the surface. They dwell under the roots of the tallest trees, encouraging them to grow deeper. Many times they work in concert with dryads, as both kind of Fae tend to help the trees grow and are devastated when trees are cut down. Lore of the gnomes originates in Scotland and Scandinavian legends, and it says that gnomes are 7 times stronger than humans, are always born as twins, and have nocturnal lifestyles. The domain of the female gnome is the home, so it is with male gnomes that most contact occurs. So if you're out and about and see a gnome or think you see a gnome, then it's probably male, because the females will tend to be in their little gnome homes. That's really fun to say, gnome homes. They are fair of face, though have rosy cheeks. Males are the guardians of earth and animal kind, and show little preference for their animal friends, so all animals are their friends, basically, rather than just some of them. All animals are gnome friends. They are known for freeing animals from man's traps and for operating on farm animals whose owners have neglected them or are too poor to get in a vet. Gnomes are known by various names worldwide and consist of a number of different types, including but not limited to forest gnomes, garden gnomes, dune gnomes, house gnomes, farm gnomes, Siberian gnomes. It is best to never invoke the ire of gnomes, especially the Siberian gnomes, because as silly as they are, they can be known to delight in revenge. Gnomes are usually an average of 15 centimetres tall, but with their hats they can appear taller. They wear grey or khaki clothing, though they are also known to wear tans and greens. The males are known to wear red and blue. Many say gnomes have elevated practical jokes to an art form and are very enamored by gems and jewellery. Gnomes are vegetarian and never eat any of their animal friends, preferring the gift of the earth itself, fruits and vegetables and plants. They can be very stubborn, but are also very hardworking and pride themselves in their loyalty and organisation. So that's like the information part done. Have I ever connected with elementals? I think everybody has without even realising it, because in breathing in air you're connecting with sylphs. In like taking a shower or having a bath or going for a swim in the pool or the ocean, you're connected with undines. Just like walking outside into your front garden, you're connected with gnomes. So because they are basically like the physical embodiment of the element itself. So yes, I've connected with probably all of them. I've always had a closer connection to like earth and fire generally, but I'm getting a lot more into water and air now, as it's kind of more like freedom and about emotion and going with the flow. It's kind of what I need in my life right now. How to connect with them generally is be wherever that element is. So if you light a fire or you're cooking, then you're playing with the salamanders. If you're paying attention to your breath, you're with the sylphs. If you have a shower, like I said, or like go swimming in the sea or swimming in the swimming pool, then undines. And just to go outside into any natural space, there's usually some form of gnome there. So try and connect with the elementals in your area and see what happens, because they are lovely beings. And of course they do like offerings. So offerings for sylphs would be anything that's coloured yellow or white generally. Same with salamanders and colours of fire, so like orange, yellow, red. I kind of preserve yellow for like air, so probably like orange or red. Water would be any shade of blue, and obviously gnome would be shades of green and brown. So if you're going to offer them crystals, maybe salamanders would be sunstone, undines would be like lapis lazuli or something like that. So kind of like stick within elemental correspondences if you're going to give them offerings or try to connect with them in a more conscious way. Yeah, they are generally like really sealy once you get to know them, but as with any and all fae, do not piss them off, because you probably will regret it. And if they offer you something, give something back of equal value, otherwise it's a contract and not a gift. And we'll go over that in another video, because a lot of people make this mistake and I really hate to see it, because I know it's preventable. So I think I've covered all of my information now, and so that would wrap up this video. So be unapologetically you, no shame, we do the no shame dance, and I will see you in the next one.